Hello, everybody. And today we're going to talk about my new shrimp tanks and just how good they're doing. Look at that. The first new babies born in the orange realies. Some of the babies that come with them, they're starting to get buried. Some of the old ones had all their eggs and they're getting buried again. So I think it's safe to say we're going to have a nice shrimp colony going here. So that's the first exciting news. And then in these other three tanks, these guys are all doing good. Look at these little red riding heads. Oh my God. And then you see longfin green dragons. I'm going to talk about the best tank mates to keep with our Neocaridina shrimp, in my opinion. Now, there are some drawbacks to keeping them with them, keeping these guys with shrimp, and I'll go over that later. But what we're going to do is, you see how we have 3 longfin green dragons selected for this tank. We're going to get 3 in this tank. This tank needs it. It's got algae. And this tank needs it. And I'm still, with these imported shrimp, I'm going to hold off to put any plecos in here for a bit until I make sure everything's good. But I've seen these guys from the Garden of Eden and from LJ Shrimp. You know, these guys are good. They've been here for over 2 months now, I think. So there's nothing to worry about. So we're going to go ahead and get some pleco friends going in here, and then eventually we'll have all 4 of these tanks breeding longfin green dragon plecos. So would you just look at this? Holy smokes! These guys have always been in the Bloody Mary tank, the Bloody Mary 40-gallon tank. But they have gone nuts. So when I first got them, I got 5, these longfin green dragons. And we had 1 male and 1 female live. The others ended up dying. And they spawned, but it was like 50-50 short fin, 50-50 long fin, and 50% of those were albinos. So there really wasn't that many. So I'm not real sure how the genetics of these guys work. But anyway, my OG male died, and the 1 baby that I managed to raise up and live that was a longfin green dragon ended up being a boy. And so he ended up making all these with his mom. But now we don't get any more albinos, which I thought was pretty bizarre. And we get like 75% long fins and only a handful of short fins. So and they just started spawning like crazy. I didn't even know if they were still alive. And then one day I started working on this tank and saw little tiny babies. So I was like, I didn't think I even had a male in here. What the heck happened? Then so I got to digging around, and that 1 baby that lived ended up growing up to like his mom. But we got lots of them. You see, there's some of them are short fins, and the short fins, they are all coming here to live in the 75-gallon Crypt Garden Guppy Rainbow Lightning Guppy Mayhem tank. Look at these guys. Rainbow Lightning Guppies. Now, if you notice, I said plecos and not guppies because I put shrimp in here, and there's shrimp in here. But they're not prolific because we got all these guys eating baby shrimp. Remember, shrimp are tasty and delicious for fishies. Fishies love to eat baby shrimp. They can fit it in their mouth, they will eat it. We got a little bit of hair algae in here, but so you can see these are the short fin green dragons I'm pulling. I got to pull these guys out. These biggest ones are when they all start booming. Now they're spawning all the time, those longfin green dragons in the Bloody Mary tank. Cool plecos for sure. And then another cool morph is the lemon blue eyes. And with the green jades. So we got 3 young longfin green dragons in here at the red redding heads. That means we gotta get 3 for in here with the new yellows. Look at these yellows. Oh my gosh. And they're still, not every single adult female is buried like they used to be, but they mostly are. So I'll have a good time letting all these grow up and picking out the best ones. And look at the black rose. We've got little black rose babies now. That's exciting. I'm excited to see how these guys end up breeding out and doing. They sure are breeding out better than the first time I tried getting black roses, I can tell you that. I think there's still going to be a fair amount of bluish and reddish looking ones to pull out. But I think for the most part, these are doing pretty good. And then, like I said, we're going to wait a little bit to put some plecos in here. So what we got to do, we got to catch 3 long, thin green dragons for in here. 3 for in here. And maybe we'll catch some to put in here. The short fins that we're pulling out. Look at that mess. Oh my gosh. The guppies. Love this tank. Alright, let's see if we can catch some of these guys. We want to try to get the bigger ones, ideally. Come on, man. There we go, there we go. Oh, yeah. He's getting to be a pretty good size one. Nice. Alright, so we got our 3. We got the 2 decent sized ones, and there's one that's a little bit, he's pretty small. He'll be alright. This yellow tank has quite a bit of algae growing on it. Got some on the sides here. That's about to be in the past. So let's make sure before we dump this in here, we want to make sure there's not any baby Bloody Marys. So we don't want the wrong, look at that green. Those guys are beautiful. It's a really cool pleco. Really cool pleco. Alright. Pleco time in the yellers. Come on, come on. There you go. Oh yeah, they're going to town right off the get-go. We got some plecos with the yellers. Cool beans. Oh, there's the third one. You see, even though they're big, and technically, I guess a shrimp could fit in their mouth, they have sucker mouths, and they don't even, over the years of keeping literally thousands of shrimp with literally hundreds of plecos in the same tanks at times, I've seen a shrimp or a pleco will not even eat a dead shrimp. I've seen bristlenose pleco come up and mouth a dead shrimp, not want anything to do with it more than a few times. So you don't have to worry about these guys eating your shrimp. I've never had it. Now, I'm not going to say it never happens, because I think the biggest threat is when they get big and do dumb, crazy pleco things, and they could possibly injure a shrimp. I think it might happen every great once in a while when we're talking with thousands of shrimp and great big huge plecos, but it's honestly not enough for me to even notice. So that's one of the drawbacks. The biggest drawback is tank size. Now, one of the best things about shrimp is you can keep shrimp in just about any size tank. Now, with these guys, when they get bigger, you're going to need at least a 20-gallon tank to keep a couple in. Well, I guess I wouldn't be keeping 3 in 20-gallon tanks, but then maintenance, you're going to have to do a lot more water changes because you're going to have to feed a lot more. But for what I'm trying to do with shrimp, that's a good thing. I can throw in a whole bunch of food The plecos will eat it, and then they poop it. The shrimp will eat the poop. And there's all snails. It's all just an ecosystem working together. And when you add plecos, you throw in more food into the situation, to the equation of our ecosystem. So the more food, the more nutrients. So then the plants grow, and you end up with more snails too. And you got to do bigger water changes. That's how I run my tanks. So for me and how I run my tanks, bristlenose plecos are the perfect tank mates for shrimp. They're still chilling right there. I gotta see if I can find some more to put in the tank with this, because we got another tank. Get 3 more plecos in. All right, we caught 3 more. Getting hard to find the bigger ones. The first couple spawns they started having, there weren't a ton of them. But let's let them go with the black ones. Black Roses getting some new friends. Here we go. Woo! Where'd you go? There's the big guy. There's the little ones. All right. Exciting times. And like I said, these shrimp are doing so good, but there's a few weird things in here. I don't think are any threat to anything. Just weird stuff you get with imported shrimp. Like this stuff growing on the glass. I think it's some kind of protozoan thing. It's almost gone in this corner. And there's some in the corner back there. So I figured out for sure what it is. Hopefully get rid of it. We'll hold off before we put anything in here just yet. So eventually, I think I've had a couple ideas in my mind with this new rack, because I still have the top level to do. I think all these lines are doing good, because when you get new lines, you don't want to just double down with new tanks. You want to make sure it's going to be good, and you like how they're breeding out and stuff like that, which all 4 of these looks like they're going to be a huge success. And I really dig them a lot. So I think we're going to put 4 more on top. That was the original plan. And then, so we'll have longfin green dragon pleco breeding rack along with the shrimp breeding rack. And then all these will be the short fins, and eventually those will be breeding in here. And we'll have our own little green dragon farm on this rack. That all started there in the Bloody Mary tank with green dragons I've had for a long, long time at this point. And they're just now going up, taking off and doing good. So thank you guys for watching. This wasn't a typical video. I had to throw something together real quick, because the good thing is we are having we're back to not having our extreme cold weather. We just went back to regular cold suck weather, and not you could die outside weather. So now I spent the last 2 days catching up all the shipments and orders and all that. So that's why we got this kind of a video, and not a typical project type of video. So thank you guys for watching. I wanted to make sure I had something for you guys today on Wednesday. Mondays and Wednesdays, when I upload my videos, I do my very best. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.